Funkoholics, how you doing? My name is Terry Wellbanks. I am coming at you from my Dungeon of Funkos as always. Today I wanted to do a quick video for you guys. I want to do a set review that I was able to pick up. They actually just announced that there was going to be one more pop. It's a variant of one of the other ones. I don't think it's a chase, but obviously we'll pick that up whenever it does get released, but it's not released yet. So I also wanted to show you guys a Dorbz that I'm absolutely in love with, and I wanted to show you guys my remaining pop in a box for the month. I haven't opened it yet, so we'll have a look and see what's inside. Hopefully it's something awesome. It's enough room for one pop. So anyways, the Dorbz that I wanted to show you guys is actually really cool. I was born in the 80s, the early 80s, and I was a huge fan of a certain show that was out. We found out later on that the gentleman wasn't all the cleanest fella, but this is the Peewee Herman Dorbz. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Peewee Herman at all. If you are, it was an amazing show when I was a kid, or anybody around my age were kids. It was something that we all really loved, and I used to have a stand-up, like a 12-inch stuffed animal. You pulled the cord at the back and he made noises. This Dorbz is really cool, and it brings back a lot of nostalgia. Nostalgia is something that I'm going to talk about a little bit later on in the video because I do want to discuss something. But yeah, if you can see the boxing, it's really cool. There's only one Dorbz in the set, but he is very well done, and he is very cool. So I'm all too excited to have him, and it brings back some great memories. So if you're a Pee Wee Herman fan, he's out, so make sure you guys go pick him up. The set that I want to review for you guys is from a movie that's coming up. There is an older line, an older set. There was 4 pops in the set, I believe. I've actually had the set twice. I've gave away a couple of pieces to friends that dearly wanted them. I've also traded a couple of pieces. So this new set, though, I am a huge fan of, and I do like. The set that I'm talking about is the Planet of the Apes. The Planet of the Apes. This is War for the Planet of the Apes, which is the newest movie that's coming out. I think it's going to be a really good movie. If you haven't checked out the preview, check it out. I'm a huge fan of all the Apes movies, even the one that Mark Wahlberg was in that not too many people like, but I love it. The older ones are a little bit too cheesy for me. The newer ones were awesome. The one with James Franco was really good. The second one was good. So I have no complaints about the movies, and the pops themselves are very well done. They're great detailed, and they represent, exactly what you would want from a Planet of the Apes set, I think. I'm glad they didn't do a chase variant. It wasn't necessary with 3 pops. And this is the Bad Ape. In the set, you have Bad Ape, Maurice, and Caesar. So this is the Bad Ape. Now, this is the one that they're releasing a variant of. I believe his face is going to be a little bit darker, and I think he might be wearing a different vest. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me, but I have a feeling that that's what it's going to look like. But this pop's really cool. The boxing's really cool. Everything really about these line of pops. I'm not a big fan of the stance. I'm as anybody knows if you've watched my previous videos, I'm not huge on them standing just with that regular pose. But this is a cool pop. This represents what he is, which is a bad ape, and he really is. So that's a really cool one. The next one I want to show you guys is Maurice. Again, these pops that I had a chance to grab, you're going to see here that the windows are curved. I hate when they curve the windows. I don't know if it's a gluing issue or what, but I do find, just a little tip, if you bend in the corner a little bit and you bend in this plastic, it will go a little bit more square, which is cool. But this pop is really cool. He's obviously my second favorite in the set. And it not being a big set is a great thing, because they could probably make 1,000 different type of apes if they wanted. But this is really cool. I like the design on him. I like his face. It is a really cool pop. He's holding a little, it looks like a controller pad there. He's the smart one that's been through it all the way through, so he's a really cool one. And then my favorite pop in the whole bunch is the main character from the new Planet of the Apes set. This is Caesar. Caesar's holding a gun. He looks quite agitated or pissed off. He's really cool. He's done really well. If they were going to do a chase, my guess is that they would have made a flocked version, which I'm glad that they didn't, because if they had made a flocked version, it would be a bummer. It would be like the Ratatouille set, where they didn't change his hat color or anything. They just made him flocked. So, but this is a really cool pop. This set is awesome. If you have a chance to pick up this set, they do look really cool. They look really, really good out of the box. So you can take them out if you're an out-of-box collector, even if you're an in-box collector and you have all the other apes. If you line them all up together, they do look really cool. So Planet of the Apes is a good set. It's a small set, so if you're starting out or you're just doing, or you're a fan of the apes, or you like the way they look, it's not expensive to get, so it's a pretty good set to have. I like it a lot. Now, let's get into the pop in a box. This is my one pop remaining. I do not know what's inside. Like I said, I haven't opened the box. Still taped up, but we'll open it together and we'll see what's inside. It's one pop. This is the packaging that you're gonna see. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not gonna look, and we'll just pull it out together. And there's a little bit of bubble wrap on the bottom, which is cool. And then we have, oh, what kind of shit is this? Well, I thumbs up Planet of the Apes, so that's not the problem. The problem is pop in a box. What the hell is going on here? Why is my box all bent and destroyed? This is the first time I've had a box come that's been garbage. This is awful. And the thing is that I don't do this whole email return crap thing. I might email them on this because this is really bad. Like, it looks like somebody pushed this in before they put it in that little box. And you'd think with the thickness of the box that it would, like, there's no dents on the box. So this had to happen, like, there's no dents on the top. So this had to happen before they put it in the box. And you'd think if they dropped it in the box and they saw that, they wouldn't send it. This is really, really bad. And I can only imagine, like, heaven forbid, can you imagine if this was a chase or if this was one that I didn't already obviously have? This is really, really bad pop in a box. And your shipments quality-wise have been pretty good. I've had a couple of dings, but nothing too serious. This is brutal. I can't get over how bad this is. And I'm thoroughly not impressed. The paint job on him sucks. I don't know who's doing the quality control, but this is brutal. And this is the type of stuff that makes people not want to do pop in a box when in all actuality it's such an awesome service and it's a great surprise for collectors every month. That this just, like, if this was the first time I was getting pop in a box, I would never get them again. This is really, really bad. So I guess I will email them and he will be an out of box pop, obviously. But there he is. This is Maurice out of the box. He does look really awesome. I mean, it's a really, really cool pop. And I did have it thumbs up, and then I went and got the set, and I thumbs it down, but I didn't thumbs it down in time. That's the thing with pop in a box, folks. If you don't know, you have to go on the site. You have to create an account. You have to go through every single pop that you can imagine. You have to either thumbs it up, meaning that you want it, thumbs it down, meaning that you don't, or leave it blank, and that means you might get it, you might not get it. You can also add pops to your collection as you go so they know what you have in your collection so you don't get doubles. This is my fault. The reason why I have him is because, as I said, I went on a little too late. I didn't thumbs him down, and normally pop in a box is really late with the new sets. They're like a month or two later that they actually ship out the pre-orders and stuff. So I'm shocked that this came, considering this set just dropped not even 3-4 days ago, I think. Maybe last Friday. I'm not too sure, but this is an awfully quick turnaround for pop in a box. And if the box was in good shape, awesome. But the fact that it came so brutal and so bent, like, I don't know how that even happens. That's really bad. And I don't want to discourage anybody from getting pop in a box because it has been really great to me. Every single month, I normally get a 6-inch, or I get a ride, or I get something that I really, really wanted. A pop that I did want. I have gotten a few ones that I thumbs down, but you know what? It is what it is. I got some I left neutral. I've got some, you know, a majority of the pops they send, you do get the ones that you've thumbs up, which is cool. But yeah, this is Maurice. This is my last pop in a box. My other two that I got, if I'm not mistaken, one of them was Davros, and the other one would have been, I don't remember. Was it Robin? I think it was 66. No, it wasn't 66 Robin. Oh, it was the pencil in her eye. Orphan Black. Shoot, I don't remember. She's behind me somewhere. So anyways, this is the pop in a box. The boxing was absolutely terrible, and it was done pre-shipping. As you can see, there is no pushes on the box. There's no dents on the box. So it was done before they actually shipped the pop, which is very disheartening when you think about who they would have on their quality control, because whoever's doing that job needs to not do that job anymore. Maybe put them in sweeping and see if they don't wreck that. Maurice, cool pop. Now, one thing that I wanted to hit on for you guys, and I wanted to talk about, I get a lot of questions in regards to what drove me to start my collection, and how would I start a collection if I'm brand new into collecting pops. And a great example is that it depends on your age group. I mean, if you're in my age, in between 30, 35, you're probably going to want the Ninja Turtles. You're probably going to want old horror. You may want the comic books. I don't know. For me personally, I'm not a Dragon Ball Z guy. I'm not a, I'm not really into the Dragon Ball. I'm not really into these off TV shows. I wasn't into the Flash Gordons, things like that. But what did get me to start collecting was when I was at a flea market and I walked into a booth and I saw Freddy and a Jason. And the Freddy and the Jason are so little and they look so cute. And I was like, this is amazing. I don't even know, how do these things exist? And so I picked them up. And then I came back the next week. And the next week when I came back, I saw a Batman and a Joker. And I lost my mind because I'm a massive Batman fan. And anything Batman I love to have. And on that same week, I also saw Captain Spaulding, who happens to be my favorite horror movie character. It just started from there, and slowly, what I did was I immediately took them out of the box because I didn't look at them like a value. I didn't think of them as $1. I thought of them as something that I want, and I want out so people can feel them, touch them. They're tangible, right? Like when you have them out of the box, they're tangible and you can see them. When they're in a box, it's just more of a showpiece. I prefer out of box, and these will all be out of the box when I have the space, but unfortunately I am where I am, right? So that's how I started, and the only thing that I want to suggest to people that start collecting is, and I want to tell you, it is a very slippery slope. You will start with a line, and you'll see a different line, you'll pick a few up. You'll see a different line, you'll pick a few up. You see a different line, you pick a few up. And then you join some groups, and then you're going to start buying older ones, and you're like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. And then it snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. And you can end up with 500 pops in a blink of an eye. It takes no time at all for you to have a massive collection of pops, and you'll sit there and you'll be like, why am I broke? and you'll wonder what happened. So if I can suggest anything to anybody, it's pick a line that you love. So if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, if you're a Marvel fan or a DC fan, or you're a horror fan, pick something and really stay with that, and only stay with that to start out. If you go crazy, you're going to end up buying a lot of regular pops that don't increase in value. I don't know if that matters. There's also the chance that you're going to end up collecting 40 lines at one time, like I got into, and it's too much, and it's too overbearing, and it weighs down on you because now you're always chasing pops. There's also different types of collectors. You have to decide whether or not you want to be a value collector, where you're only looking at the dollar value in the pop. You're not looking at the actual pop because you want to take it out or you want to enjoy it. You want to collect them to hopefully in 10 years have $30,000 worth of pops. Now, mind you, in 10 years, you may have $30,000 worth of pops, but you need to find somebody to pay you $30,000 for those pops. And I got caught up a little bit in the value thing. After I had started, and I realized that I was tossing all my boxes, and I found out that my bank robber Joker was worth like $100 and some odd American. So I lost my mind, and I was like, how does this happen? But the biggest thing for me is that I realized that I love these things for what they are, and I don't much care about the value. I mean, it just so happens that the ones that I'm in love with, they do cost more money because of how old they are, and I get that. But they're releasing new sets that I can get into and I can love, like the Batman 66 or the new WWE ones. I think they're all fantastic. The horror ones that they keep coming out with, they are coming out with new shows. My dream sets, like a Dexter set, I'd love them to continue the South Park. My Batmans and my Jokers, obviously, but and horror, just horror in general, like the Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses. I wish that they would expand, because there's so many awesome and unique characters in that I think would be killer pops. But a big thing that you need to do is you need to decide what you love. You need to pick out a few pops that you think will start you out and just watch it grow organically and do it organically. Don't fall into the trap that I fell into where I was getting up extra early every day and I was going to wait at stores because I wanted to get chases, and I was doing things. I was trading up, and I was spending just all this money and spending money that I didn't really have to spend. And I don't know your situation. You may be loaded, and all the power to you. Buy all the grails you want. But if you want to be a value collector, that's one thing. You can be a chase collector, which means that you would pretty much only want to get chase variants, regardless of if you like the show or not. For instance, Mr. Robot came out, and there's an Elliot with a hood. And I mean, the pop's okay, but I don't watch the show, and I'm sure the set's awesome. But I don't watch the show, so I didn't pre-order that chase because I didn't think that it would be worthwhile for me getting it, knowing that I didn't like it. And if I go back a few months when I got into this battle with this loser that lives in my city, I would buy every chase just to make sure that he didn't have them. And it was very petty, and I feel bad about that because it also wasted money for me. I've got chases that I don't like because of it. Well, most of them I traded off. So you can also be a low value collector. Where you just buy lower end pops that you find that are on sale, and that's totally cool too. You can watch your collection grow for half the price that a lot of us dummies pay when we're paying the 13, 14, 15, sometimes 18 if it's a Hot Topic exclusive, or another store's exclusive pops. So if you want to be a value collector, I would check out sites like Kijiji or Craigslist, or you can check out Funkoholics Worldwide on Facebook. You can also check out Funko Canadian Alliance. You can check out Funko BST Canada. You can check out the Australian Everything Geeky Australian. I think there's a 705 page, Pop Society USA. There's so many great groups of people out there, and you'll be able to find pops on these Facebook groups that you wouldn't be able to find at a store. And you may pay a little bit more depending on which group that you're in, but at the end of the day, you'll get the pops that you want, and hopefully you'll be able to get them at a decent value, especially for older ones. Because if somebody's charging $150 for a Robin chase, for instance, that pop's worth, and it's Canadian, that pop's really worth $150 American. So they're not making what is deemed value based on pop price guide, which is another type of collector. You can be a pop price guide collector, so you can collect things strictly based off of what the values are on pop price guide, and then you can buy, sell, and trade doing that. I don't really like going by pop price guide, but unfortunately sometimes you have to. And then there's also just the casual collector, somebody that just wants to have a few, and you know what, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's amazing for people that just start out, and that's why services like Pop in a Box are really good, because you do save a little bit of money. You spend $60 a month, but you are going to get 12 pops. So when the 12 pops come in, you'll have 12 pops at $60. That's a huge savings from what you'd pay at Electronic Boutique or GameStop or FYE or Walgreens or any of those other places, Target, Hot Topic. You would be able to take advantage of that service as long as the shipping's okay and the boxes are all right, which doesn't always happen. So clearly, so yeah, starting out a collection, my main thing that I want to talk to everybody about, and I want to let you know, is get what you love and pick up what you like the look of. I changed my whole philosophy in collecting. At first, I started with Batman and the horror, and that's all that I wanted to do. And then I saw, I saw like a Marvel one that I really liked, so I'm like, oh crap, now I gotta get this. And then I saw a WWE one, and I was like, oh, I gotta get this. And then I slowly started seeing different sets come out and different pops that I just genuinely like the look of. So if I like the look of them, I pick them up, and that's how I do it. I don't much care about where they're from or what they are, because there's so many different sets out now that you can get buried if you just do it, if you have to be a set completist. So now I just pick up pops that I like, and it was fortunate with this Apes set, for instance, that I liked all the pops. The Lord of the Rings set that I reviewed in my last video, and I'm sorry for anybody that I offended, but in the last video I did a Lord of the Rings review that my lady picked up, and I just wanted to do the review for it because I wasn't a fan of the pops, and I'm not a fan of the pops, and I'm gonna stick by that. I'm really not a fan of them. I don't think that it's a great set, but everybody is entitled to what they love, and if you love Lord of the Rings and that's your thing, how can I knock you for that? I mean, it obviously was a massively popular movie, and people love it, and people are obsessed with it just like they're obsessed with Star Wars. So you know, do your thing. And I hope that you guys do love the pops, and I hope that you do enjoy them. But for me, they're just not something that I would want. I like that Nazgul, the black one. He looked like death. That Balrog's going to be amazing, so I can't wait for that one. There are a few that Ring Wraith, I think is his name. He was really cool, but I didn't review him because we didn't have him yet. So, and then you know, you just have to get what you love. You have to start your collection and base your collection on buying what you love. If you love Lord of the Rings, get the set and do whatever it takes to get that set so you have it. If you like Stranger Things, get the Stranger Things. Whatever is the show, the movie, the cartoon, the wrestling, whatever it is you're into, they'll have a pop for it. And pick what you love. Don't just buy them to buy them. Don't go like this Valerian set comes out. It's coming out soon, and it's actually been dropping in Canada slowly here. And there's a chase for Doofin. I just started reading the book. The book is awesome. I hope that it's the same book that I'm reading, but it is very good, and I'm interested in the movie. I think that it looks cool, but don't buy that chase if you don't. There's no point in you wasting your energy and time just to buy that chase, unless you're a value collector or you're a flipper, which is another way to collect. If that's something you want to do, you can buy pops and flip them for a higher price, and you can make $5-10 here or there, or $20, depending on the pop. And Funkoholics worldwide, and in many of the other Facebook groups, it's really frowned upon to try to get a chase that you just got, like for instance a John Wick chase, and then flip the thing for $50 or $60 Canadian. And we know that you paid $12.99, and the reason why you're selling it for $50 is because Pop Price Guide deems it that, and a lot of people go by that. So keep that in mind as well. And just have fun collecting. Don't get caught up in all the negativity with all the seasoned collectors, because they'll very much discourage you and make you not want to do this quickly. And it happened to me. I had a bunch of people come at me right away because I was growing my collection, and I'm vocal with what my thoughts are. And you know what? There was a lot of negative people in this community, and there's a ton. But for every bad person, there's a Jim Kay or a Sean Mason or a Cody Glasner or a Seth Stallings or a Steve Kilboy or a Terry Smith or an Ian, you know, or a Kyle. There's so many amazing people out there for you to be able to meet and talk to. And for everyone bad that'll discourage you along the way, there's guys that you'll meet and girls that you'll meet along the way that are make up for it tenfold, because all they want to do is genuinely help. So that's my thoughts on starting a collection. I hope that it helps you. If you guys have any questions or comments, please do me a favor, comment below. If you're new to the channel, I would love to hear from you. Just let me know that you're here and that you've watched the video.